Assalamualaikum everyone, this is Ayesha from CxO Global Forum, a knowledge sharing platform for all the C levels across Pakistan and around the globe. Every time we have some very interesting guests with us today as well. We have Mr. Fakhir Fazil with us, who is the CEO and the co founder of Hybrid Technologies. Assalamualaikum, sir, how are you?
Walaikum Assalam, Aisha. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good too, sir. How was your day?
It was good. So far, so good.
So
And
far.
thank you, by the way. Thank you to you, Aisha, and the CxO Global Forum for having me here.
It's a pleasure, sir. Okay, so before we start off with this session, I would want you yourself to please let our audience know who basically Mr. Fakhir Fazil is.
Okay, so I'm Fakhir Fazil, and I am the co-founder and the CEO of Hybrid Technologies, and I'm very glad actually that it has become my identity for the last 10 years. This is our 10th year, mashallah, and we boast the success that we have achieved in the last 10 years. Uh, well, I don't have much to say academically because I dropped out from the university. So after
Okay.
college, I did not pursue my university, and I was more inclined towards starting my career. I clearly remember it was 2004, some good 20 years ago, when I landed into the corporate sector, and I started working for a tech company where I had spent good 10 years and learned what I learned. And and then I just started my company because I thought I was ready. I believed in the business, I knew the business, and I just started my business then. And so far, so good. Alhamdulillah, Allah has been kind, and things have been going in the right direction.
Okay, right. So, what motivated you to, find this tech company of yours, which is basically Hybrid Technologies, and what was your vision for the company at the very beginning?
Okay, so my desire to start, this entrepreneurship it was always a dream. It was always something I wanted to do even when I was a child. I clearly remember even when I was a child, I wanted to start my own company, but I did not know which business I would land into, what I would do. I had no plan. It was a pretty vague thought, but I always wanted to do this. So when I started my career, as I told you in 2004, I served my company and I started to enjoy my work. That is
Okay,
where I knew what I'm going to do as a business. But I was patient enough to work for them for 10 good years so that I can learn the ins and outs of the business and understand this ecosystem completely. And then when I felt I was ready, I started. So entrepreneurship was not something that I woke up one day and I started off. It was more of a
okay,
thing where I just, always thought of.
okay, right. So, sir, starting off with your company, you might have started from the scratch, right? So,
Yeah.
what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced starting off with your company, and how did you overcome them?
Oh, that's an interesting one. So when we started, the biggest roadblock was so when you're working for someone,
Mm-hmm.
there's a comfort zone, right? Even if you don't perform well, you get a paycheck. But when you start
Definitely.
your own thing, and especially somebody coming from the humble beginnings that me and my co-founder Mohammed Shoaib, my partner, we come from very humble beginnings. So we used to live paycheck to paycheck, and when we started off our business, we did not have much capital. And this is the business we are in requires a lot of capital, but
Okay.
unfortunately, we didn't have that. So somehow we were able to mitigate that through our PR and connections. I'm very thankful to a lot of people who supported us back in the day when we did not have anything to pay upfront or did not have much of capitals. But then that was the biggest roadblock. And although when you start your entrepreneurship journey, you had pretty much make up your mind, right? That you want to, you know how it's done, right? But
Right.
unless you do it, you don't really get that confidence. So Alhamdulillah, it has been a very smooth sail. For initial few months have been, we learned a lot, and whatever the roadblocks were, they were mostly inside our head, and they were cleared, like really. They were very easy to overcome, and I need to thank a lot of people who have been, who had supported us in those days. Yeah, that's about
Right,
it.
right. Okay. So what do you think sets your company, Hybrid Technologies, apart from other companies that are in the tech industry?
Exactly. Now, this is something that we gave a lot of thought about, because when we were
Mhm.
starting a company, we thought about what is going to be our unique selling proposition. What is something that we can bring to the table? Because I mean, there were already a lot of tech companies, before us, and a lot of companies that started alongside us. So this was something that we gave a lot of thought about, and we just felt that, based on our past experiences of working with different employers, and seeing the industry trend, we just knew that we had to be very fair with our commitments. We have to learn to say no. The good part was that we learned to say no. We were not desperate enough to say yes to everything and then miscommit to our customers, which is pretty much an industry practice for most players, for not all. We are
Definitely.
very committed partners also. So this is something that we thought that we need to. So there have been times, I'll just share an example with you. There have been not one but many instances where we had to keep our word, we had to keep our commitment. We are a commercial organization, right? Even
Okay.
then, we had to make losses just to fulfill our commitments and our word, which is why we boast the success that we do.
Okay.
So
Right. Right.
commitment, I would say, in one word, commitment, and deliver what you commit is something that we hung on to from day one, and this will be our motto till the company exists.
Definitely right. Okay. So, sir, being in the technology sector, um, you know, the technology is changing very rapidly. After this AI stuff is coming in, the technology is changing very rapidly. So, how do you
Yes.
stay ahead of the market, and how do you set your trends in your industry to stay ahead of time?
Uh, in all honesty, since our own business requires a lot of versatility, and I understand that the technology trend is changing very rapidly, especially in the last couple of years, and it is taking a totally different direction, and we are doing something behind the scenes right now. I'm not fully prepared to disclose those initiatives right
Okay.
now due to some confidentiality obligations, but uh, our own business has so much versatility still and so much scope still that moving on to something completely new would not be the right thing to do. So hence we are taking things slow and gradually, and we're taking such initiatives alongside uh, you know uh, doing initiatives in our existing business also. So yeah, I
Right.
will,
Right.
inshallah, hopefully, if we do another interview sometime later, I will be able to share those initiatives. And in fact, I would it would be my pleasure to launch them through CxO Global Forum.
Definitely, sir. Looking forward to it. Okay. So, sir, moving on to the next question. Innovation and collaboration, I think, play a very important role. So, how do you foster a culture of innovation and collaboration within your company?
Uh, it's a very simple thing, to be honest. So we have this culture from day one. We've learned
Okay.
from our past employers, and so we've always let even the we've always employed, we've always been inclined towards hiring young staff, inexperienced staff, and then train them according to the direction of the company and what we aim to achieve. We just spot talents, people who are ambitious, and then we take them aboard. And what we do is we don't kill their creativity. What usually most organizations do is that your employees are not just supposed to do their work, and they're not encouraged to bring any sort of initiatives or ideas to the table, right? We encourage that, even if somebody who's like very young in their career, and they walk up to me and they propose a solution or an initiative that is well worth doing, and which can bring something good to the table, something good to the company. I
Right.
will always encourage that. Me and my co-founder Shoaib, we both have this habit of encouraging that all the time, which is why we are always open to new ideas coming from anybody and everyone, as long as it is well thought of and it is sound. So this is something that has created a very family-like environment in our company. We don't have those, red carpet kind of a thing. It's a pretty much we have an open door policy. Anybody can walk up to us and report any problem or suggest any initiative. And since we've embraced those initiatives, we've accepted them, we've adopted them, which is why everybody is always thinking of something or the other to make it
Right,
better.
right, right. So, sir, being as the co-founder and the CEO of your company, I would ask what that specific, a specific achievement I would say that your company has reached under your leadership.
Uh, we've always been aiming very high. We've always targeted things that a company is supposed to achieve in 5 years. We always gave ourselves tough targets, like trying to achieve those in 2 years or maybe max 3 years, so that we
Okay.
can accelerate towards the goals that we have set. Alhamdulillah, we've been fortunate enough that we've achieved so many milestones with different manufacturers and different technology leaders in the world that let me give you there's just one example that I want to give you right now because of in the interest of time. uh, we are the only, Hewlett Packard, right? Hewlett Packard Enterprise is one of the most, one of the top companies in the Fortune 500.
Definitely, right.
So we were fortunate enough to win their confidence and become their first authorized service delivery partner in 15 years, right? So the last
Okay.
partner who was taken aboard and considered for that role was a very old company, and that was 15 years ago. So no new entrant was offered that position, and we got that in the fifth year, like 5 years ago, in the fifth year of establishment. So that is one of the things that we've achieved, and we are very proud of to boast that. And
Definitely.
there's a lot more, but this is one just to share one.
Okay, this is definitely a great achievement. Sir, being the CEO of this, I would say, company, what are your long-term goals for your company? I would ask, and how do you plan to achieve them in the near future?
Long-term goals, we see that we need to expand globally, and
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the initiatives that I was talking about. I'm just going to share a brief insight on that. So we are expanding globally. Right now, we are spreading our operations in the Middle East, and later we plan to, inshallah ta'ala, we plan to enter the American market also. But the
Okay.
first 5 years, we plan to just penetrate into the Middle East market, and
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the directions that we have for the company. So we have a 2030 plan also, that by 2030 we should be at least present in 10 countries outside of Pakistan.
Right, right. So, sir, being the CEO of a company, how do you balance the demand of running a personal life along with running a company?
Sorry, excuse me. Uh, that I would say is a very hard balance to find, and there's no one surefire answer for that for me.
Okay.
I would like to give credit to my wife Sarah. She's been, she's made me achieve that right balance, because for the first few years I've been a workaholic, and so it was, either extremes for me. So when I used to be a workaholic for the initial few years, and then later I became, somebody who would just be after his personal life, and then came a time uh, where your life partner does play a pivotal role in this. And
Definitely right.
she did back me. She's my rock, and she helped me overcome this. So now I have the very right balance of my work life and personal life, which is very, I think, essential for everybody to achieve, because you cannot just work and not have a personal life, because I think you cannot be considered successful unless you have a right balance of both. I'm about there. I've about reached there. I'm not really there yet, but I'm still working towards it. But yeah, yeah, it is very good as compared to what it was like 5 or 10 years ago.
Right, right. So, sir, what role I would say, what key traits or I would say skills are necessary that you would want somebody to have who's in your position?
Uh, like I said, you need to listen to your to your people, to people who you entrusted your belief in. You need to listen
Okay.
to them. In good initiatives come from everywhere, right? And you have to be a problem solver. That's a skill you always just keep on learning and you never master it, but you have to take the right direction and you have to work towards it, that you have to be a problem solver in the organization, because you are the veto, you are the ultimate guy in the
Definitely.
organization, right? Everybody comes to you with their set of problems over there, and you need to be fully equipped, both mentally and technically also. I mean, technically in whatever capacity you work in, you need to be equipped in order to solve those problems, or instead of being the guy who tells them, not my problem, go solve it, go do it by yourself. So that attitude, I think, goes that has a trickle down effect. It goes to the team and the whole organization in a matter
Great.
of a few hours. The whole organization or everybody carries that sort of an attitude. um, I mean, because there's so many different businesses, and you have to be really headstrong. So, if you are planning on achieving something with a milestone, you give yourself a timeline and make sure you achieve that, no matter what. So you have to be that headstrong. Otherwise, I don't think you are fit for that role.
Right, right, sir. So, sir, I would want to ask, who has been your biggest inspiration or a mentor throughout your career? Or I would shape the question as if, do you have inspiration or a mentor?
Um, Quite honestly, they've been a few, not one
Mhm.
but a few. Um, People give you nudges in the right direction. There are a
Okay,
lot of people that I owe my success to. Um, there've been quite a few. I wouldn't want to name one because that would not be fair to the other people. But
okay,
then there've been a few, and it's constant. That list is constantly evolving. So if you have that process of constantly learning, a lot of people become your mentor in different sort of roles. A few for your professional life, and a few for your personal life. I mean, there have been different mentors, and they keep
definitely
on.
right. Okay, so, sir, what advice would you want to give to somebody who's aspiring their career in a technical field just like you?
Uh, First and foremost, pursue something that you really want to do.
Okay,
And after that, I would say that once you believe in something, keep on believing. There would be hard times. Just don't give up. So if you set yourself a goal, make a realistic goal. For instance, I uh, started my company after I had served for a similar company for 10 years, where I
right,
did not only learn the good part, I learned the bad part also, because that gives you another learning that is also as valuable as learning the good part, right? So I've
definitely right.
learned from their success, I've learned from their failures, I've seen what was what needs to be done when. So you need to learn from failures also, and failures are not always necessarily bad. I would suggest people. I've always encouraged, even I'm so glad, I'm so happy. I mean, I've always encouraged people. We always have these weekly in-house sessions where I speak to my people, and and I always encourage them. You know, are you sure what you're doing is something that you want to do for a lifetime? What do you
Right.
want to achieve? Make clear goals in your life, and just do that. For somebody who's starting, I would say, get the necessary experience behind your back. Do your in-depth working, and then head to the next level. Just don't hurry that, because a lot of people I see hurry into the decision of starting their own business, where they're not well equipped or completely prepared. They're not right enough. So yeah, this is my 2 cents for that.
Okay, okay. Thank you for these advices, sir. Sir, outside of work, what are some of your hobbies or interests I would ask that you're passionate about?
Yeah, outside of work, it's I'm into sports. I'm into sports, and somewhere down the road, because health is equally important, right? It
Definitely.
keeps you motivated. It keeps you brain cells working. So I play sports, and my family is also, by the way, a part of that. I try. That's also one of the avenue where I spend family time also, and
Right.
other than that, it's pretty much of a regular life. It's just
Okay, okay. So finally, sir, how would you describe your experience with CXO Global Forum?
it's amazing. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey. I'd like to congratulate Kamal once again for this amazing initiative. There was no community that was representing the CXOs across the globe, and I'm so glad that Kamal thought about this and he created a platform for all the CXOs to be, for knowledge exchange and for networking and connecting with each other, which has created a great value. So CXO Global Forum, I think in the last 4 or 5 years at least, I've seen something that has grown tremendously, phenomenally, and I'd say Kamal is the man behind the scene. I would like to congratulate him once again.
Definitely. Yes. Okay, so done with this short interaction here, sir. Thank you so much for your time. I hope that our viewers would be able to learn from you as much as possible. And once again, thank you so much for pulling out time for this discussion.
Thank you so much, Aisha. Thank you. It was lovely talking to
Thank
you.
you. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Likewise.